Hi. Hello. All right, today we're going to talk about beauty. We're going to talk about why, in particular, women and physical attractiveness became a really significant advertisement for the prosperity gospel and mega ministry in general. And mega ministry is a word I use to talk about the supersized nature of the commercial engines behind most of what we're talking about. So it's not usually just churches, it's enormous churches, which is to say churches over 5,000 and 10,000. So it's not just your local worship band, it's an enormous Christian music label like Hillsong, and the tours and the merch and the lead singer's Instagram account. Speaking tours are also like an enormous spectacle as people use each other's enormous mega churches to increase visibility. So picture mega ministry as the larger than life place in which our Christian values are being played out. So what does beauty mean, not just like on a regular Sunday morning, but in that context? So in the beauty chapter, I wanted to make a couple primary arguments that women became an argument about modernity, about the prosperity gospel, in this version, like evangelicalism and the prosperity gospel is like up-to-dateness. So you would know, because one of the big claims of any prosperity gospel church is not just that they're right, that they're true, but that they're cool. And how do you know they're cool? It's because the people are beautiful. When you walk in the door, you might have like a selfie booth. You can follow their senior pastor and his gorgeous co-pastor wife on social media. And gone are the kind of long Pentecostal skirts of yesteryear. Even the sort of like, well, Tammy faced her own thing, which we will get into. But during the 80s and 90s, evangelicals and Pentecostals, and the prosperity gospel at the front of that, was trying to use beauty in order to make an argument. They wanted to argue that, so just remember the culture wars of the 1970s in particular. So second wave feminism, women are going to work for the first time in, white women are going to work for the first time in mass. They're accessing rights to property in divorce, abortion, birth control, looking for equal pay. All of these things is creating an enormous crisis for conservative Christians about whether or not the family will be the single wage earner, men as the head of the house, and then the head of the church, that they've been, that makes them the model Christian family. Well, women become sort of at the center then of that debate, because if they can then show themselves to be, and now with the rise of co-pastors, the like ideal a Christian wife, she's so content, she's not angry anymore. And instead of the like where hippies go one way, so you become more sort of like anti-hyper feminine in order to make an argument about equality, you'll see that women in mega ministry become more and more hyper feminine, more focused on beauty as a responsive argument to second wave feminism. So if you want to just like, if people wonder why Sadie Robertson, like a Duck Dynasty daughter, just for being pretty and conservative, can have one of the largest modern ministries today, It's in part an argument about the satisfied conservative Christian woman. She's not asking for everything. So the beauty, the sexual satisfaction of the Christian woman, there's tons of books that come out, both as sex advice and as an argument that conservative sex is the best sex. It is weird to be saying sex this much on a video, but here we are. Standards of beauty for women are dramatically increasing. I wish I could show you right now a picture of some of our like the happy hunters. There was this sweet Pentecostal couple who was big into prosperity, big on the itinerancy circuit, and were just kind of like regular dowdy grandpa types. I mean, yeah, she would produce hilariously specific, Frances would produce hilariously specific descriptions of their marital satisfaction, but no one expected her to be a supermodel. Cut to the increase of Miss America contestants on CBN, like as news anchors. They're kind of like the pre-Fox News anchors. Do you know what I mean? Like they pre-foxed it. They decided that hyperfemininity and a certain set of standards for beauty was going to do most of the culture wars for them. The other piece I just want to note is the emphasis on the home, Christian, like the perfection of women. Let's see, there's a nice weight loss section on the emphasis on especially slim white bodies. I once, when I was bored, made a spreadsheet of the largest 100 churches in the country, and the likelihood that the larger the church got, the more the first lady, the pastor's wife of any race, would become blonder and blonder and slimmer, which was in fact true. And that their sexual fidelity was going to be policed way more than their masculine counterparts. So if you're a man if you're a megachurch pastor that cheats on your wife, the chances of you being restored to ministry are quite high. If you're a man who cheats on his wife and you've committed so not just sexual scandal, but financial scandal, if they happen with enough spacing apart, you'll probably still be restored to ministry. If it happens at the same time, you're probably going down. Now, if you are a woman in ministry who has cheated on her man, the chances of you being restored to ministry are almost nothing. It is almost impossible for women to claw their way up. In fact, when I wrote Preacher's Wife, really one of the only paths to ministry is that you're married to a pastor and then he dies. And then congratulations, you are now a solo pastor. If you're lucky, if the board doesn't vote you out. But why is then the beautiful co-pastor woman the primary, the most satisfying model for modern ministry? It is because it solves the problem of worrying about him straying. It's an answer to the televangelism scandals. It makes an argument about feminism, that conservative Christian womanhood is a place of peace, home values, and inherent satisfaction. It's also a very, in light of the increasing size of the scale of these enormous commercial industries that are behind modern ministry today, big churches, big labels, big tours, face on billboards, it reflects the growing adoption of the standards of entertainment in beauty into Christian ministry. So if I showed you like a slideshow of shots of the main celebrities of the band Hillsong over time, you would see that they become increasingly beautiful, that their clothes become increasingly modern, less obviously Pentecostal. And as one speaker said to me, like, hey, it's one thing to see your face on like a tiny screen. It's an entirely different thing to see your face on a Jumbotron. So the more that they're put into the mega ministry machine, the more they will begin to resemble the secular entertainment industries that Christian music was there to be a sanctified alternative to in the first place. Okay, those are some thoughts about beauty. I cannot wait to discuss this with you.